Welcome to Sunshine Cathedral's Queer God Squad. It's Friday, May 29th, 2026. I am Bishop Darrell Watkins, the Senior Minister of the Sunshine Cathedral for the Queer God Squad. Joining me today, and most days, are Bishop Robert Griffin, Reverend Dr. Ann Atwell, and Reverend Kevin Tisdall. Visit sunshinecathedral.org to learn more about us.
Queer God Squad was created by hotspots happening now in support of our mission to explore the value of faith in the LGBTQ community.
There is no streaming TV show like this in the entire world. In 2026, we are celebrating the 41st anniversary of Hotspots magazine, with Queer News Tonight sharing over 14,000 stories and 12 million views so far.
We are the largest nonprofit LGBTQ media organization in America, and we encourage you to support our mission to inform, entertain, and educate our community and allies. This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Defending voting rights is the moral thing for preachers to do. Preaching in defense of voting rights is fundamentally right because protecting the disenfranchised aligns with the core biblical imperatives of justice, equality, and human dignity. Scriptural tradition consistently demands that believers advocate for the marginalized and oppressed. When systemic barriers suppress the vote, they strip vulnerable populations of their voice, directly violating the theological truth that all people are created equally in the image of God. Historically, the pulpit has been a vital catalyst for moral progress, most notably during the civil rights movement, when faith leaders recognized that political access is inextricably linked to human dignity. Defending the ballot box is not a matter of partisan politics. It is a profound moral obligation to ensure a just society where every person's inherent value is recognized and protected. And the church says, amen. Mm-hmm. I grew up during the peak of the civil rights movement. I was 10 years old when the rights of Americans was codified, that everybody had a chance to vote. The ability to vote was something that was sacred to all. And I remember in my church, every single Sunday, my pastor, who was good friends with people like Martin Luther King Jr., would come up and tell us that we had a moral obligation to vote because by voting we spoke up for what we believed in, and that was really our only voice. So yeah, I don't remember a time when I was in a church where it was not a moral imperative to speak up for what was right, to speak up and inform people that they had a duty to go out and make sure that their voice be heard.
There is this key theological concept in Christian traditions, and that's the Imago Dei, that we each bear the image of God, no matter who we are. That every person, we're part of the creation that God calls very good in the creation myth. And so we bear this Imago Dei, this image of God. And that's then where the golden rule comes in, that we treat others as we'd like to be treated. We love our neighbors as ourselves, because our neighbor also has the image of God. We bear the image of God. They bear the image of God. So it is blasphemous. It is it is sinful to ignore that divine image. And so when we treat someone as subhuman, we are certainly treating them as subdivine. And so it is a moral imperative and a sacred duty to speak up for whoever's being marginalized, erased, silenced, demonized, dehumanized, vilified. And the pulpit is the place that we do that. I mean, we can post online, we can chat up people at a party or whatever, but we have a voice and a place to share it, like politicians do, like actors do, like journalists do. You know, we have, and preachers have a pulpit, and church congregations are dwindling for some pretty good reasons, all over the country, but still somebody's showing up. And so you still got those, and then because of the internet, where, you know, you're reaching people anyway, all over the place. So you have this opportunity and this responsibility. It is spiritual malpractice to not say what you can on behalf of the children of God who are not being treated as if they were children of God. Now, when people say, well, I don't come to hear your politics, well, that's why I have never told you who I voted for.
Right.
That's why I've never asked you to give not 1 cent to a political party or campaign. Because, yeah, why would you care about my politics? But when I am talking about the sacred value of trans people, that's not my politics.
Yes.
That's my morals. That's my morality. That's my faith. That's my theology.
Yes.
When I talk about it is wrong to redraw districts to silence voices and to keep people from having representation, that's not my political platform. I don't even know what party platforms are anymore. That is my theology. That is my morality. That is me saying that when we try to silence or erase people, that is exactly opposite of what the God who is love would want. When I say that racism is wrong, when I say that a woman should be in control of her body, in charge of her own body, these aren't just political opinions. These are my morals. And these are morals based on my understanding of my faith tradition. And so what people are doing when they say, well, they're trying to silence you, which shows you that there's still power in just speaking up, whether it's from a pulpit or letter to the editor or Thanksgiving dinner or whatever. There is power in speaking up, which is why they use these snarky little ways of trying to get you to stop talking about things. And I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm not sure that I ever did, but I 100% am not doing it now because I see you. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to silence the moral argument. You're trying to silence the prophetic word. Sell that somewhere else. We're not buying it here.
Right.
I love it.
Right. People in the pulpit, you got to use your voice to speak out. Now, the pulpit has also been used to really target and hurt other people. But I think it's really, really time for all good people of faith. If you're hearing this stuff from your pulpit, you need to either get out or talk to the person or whatever. You can't keep doing that. And when we're thinking about churches, I mean, there's some churches, okay, we're going to do a social justice Sunday. One Sunday. We're going to do one Sunday a year.
Hope you can make it.
Yeah. Exactly. I hope you don't sleep in that morning. No, we need to do social justice from the pulpit all the time. And if you're not hearing that, then look around.
Growing up in the South in Alabama, church every Sunday was a social justice cause for something. Just going to church was social justice. It was an act of social justice. So it kind of takes me back to hear about what we shouldn't be talking about in the pulpits today. You know, because all of what I grew up with was about justice causes. What was voting, whether it was redoing some laws to make things more equitable. I just grew up in the social justice nature, and so it baffles me now when I see people who are marching across Edmund Pettus Bridge, and people say, "Well, what is that bridge all about in Alabama?"
Come on.
Or when I see people who are reenacting the sit-ins at the sit-in counters, and they say, "Well, what is a sit-in counter? What happened at that counter?" And so I'm seeing it get some kind of clout on Facebook among younger generations across the board of people who don't know their history, or who, in some cases, who were not taught this history.
That's exactly it.
Not that they don't know, they were not taught this history.
Right here.
And so I think once we begin to learn better, learn differently, we do better. Because what we're watching playing out so much, I believe, right now, all goes back to places like Edmund Pettus Bridge. It goes back to places like North Carolina, what the city is. It goes back to places Central High School and
Church.
all these places, and those are the tieback roots and links, if you will. That if we look through those lenses, we can completely understand what's going on today.
Yeah.
And there's no doubt we can completely see when it comes down to voting, gerrymandering, all this stuff. There is a tie back to all of that, and we got through it once, and we'll get through it again. The only thing the difference between then and now is technology. And the pulpit is still the pulpit. And I think if we continue to use our technology in the pulpit in such a way, we will get through this even faster this time, I think, and show people that this is bullshit. We're not going to stand for this. And I think the other side of this is we will continue, and I mean that collectively, we'll continue to have to fight. You know, it's like I think people got complacent at one point, and now we realize we cannot be complacent about these types of issues ever again. And always be on guard.
Yeah. You got to vote. And you have to register to vote. and then vote. And you have to pay attention. When they're taking away candidates and they're taking away districts and they're putting you in another district, vote anyway. And when they're going to close it early, get there early. And once you're in line, I don't think they can close you out. But so get in line, stay in line, take a snack, take an umbrella, whatever. We're going to fight for your right to vote. Now you need to show up and take your responsibility to vote. Make use of that right. There was a big deal to get 18-year-olds the rights to vote in the 60s. If you're 18, use that. It was a big fight. A lot of physical injury to get women the right to vote. Use that. The civil rights movement, there were so many obstacles for people of color to vote. And we got Voting Rights Act, which they have now gutted. But if enough of us vote the right people in, we can fix that. So your vote really is important. Not voting is not a protest. Not voting is just handing everything to the people who are voting.
Yep.
And so please register and then vote every single time. Well, I never win. Well, fine. You don't win every fight you fight, but you lose every fight you don't fight. So yes, register to vote every time. And I say that not as a public service announcement. I say that under a prophetic anointing, saying that is exactly what the heavens would want you to do. And that's today with the Queer God Squad. Thank you for joining the Queer God Squad. Today we are here daily at 3 p.m. to have some fun and to discuss what our LGBTQ community is talking about. Please like and share this and other episodes of the Queer God Squad. Sunshine Cathedral is the world's leading progressive queer church. Progressive, queer, and God are words that naturally should go together. Remember that we're all in this together. Also remember, you are God's miracle, not God's mistake. Until next time, we are the Queer God Squad.